after being in social media since the dawn of time, MySpace, obviously, Facebook, Snapchat, Periscope, all the things, I'm always like looking for what is coming next. What is happening with buyers? What is happening with the content? How is it shifting in the market? And what can we do about it to get ahead of it, or at least stay aligned with the changes on the platforms? So what I've been doing is looking for 2026. And I generally, people ask me like, how do you know what's trending, or how do you know what's coming? It's just like when you are in your industry. So social media, marketing and sales, that's my industry. And so I'm always going to kind of stay checked in into what is working. But also, I'm not just reading reports, because chances are, if the public knows about it, it's already like 6 months in the mix of it. Like, we've already kind of missed the initial beginning of it. And so that's why, just like you in your industries, I really try to stay testing things and not really looking for these incredible results, but looking at how the market is shifting, how the algorithm is treating our content, how buyers are now using social media to make their buying decisions. And that tells me a lot about what is coming. And especially at the end of a year. So December, your content generally is like bombing. Most social media people who are using this, to market their business, they will tell you that December is always a downtime. So what I do, knowing December is a slower time, there's just a lot of competition. It's not like they like flip a switch and the algorithm turns off or anything like that, but it's just a lot of competition. There's a lot of people, especially in, if you are, selling a product predominantly, you're going to be overshadowed by like the big companies. And so generally they're putting tons of money into advertising dollars, influencers. It's going to be a really loud space. And so regular old content kind of gets like slipped to the back. And if you have seen an ad, I was talking about this in my 6-figure leads challenge the other day. I was like, when you're being shown an ad, it is intentional. So like, they already know why you need to see the ad. But not only that, this, you're being targeted by ads, but I want you to look 3 posts above that ad. That is also intentional. You're not just seeing random content before advertising. It is all there for a certain reason. It's to drive your interest. And in December, that is even more prevalent. And so my clients are focused on growth right now. So we are meeting the algorithm kind of where it's at and saying like, okay, what can we do to get ahead, go a little bit farther, a little bit faster this month before New Year? Because I wish I had my whiteboard here, but so with your content, so if you're experiencing this like upward trajectory, so you're posting growth content in a growth month, which is December, what you want to do is notice when things dip, because generally content that's performing well will impact the next 3 posts that come after that content. And so content, as it performs. If you were to put up like a sales post or something that like is what you used to do, like a high promotion or super salesy post, it's going to immediately drop. And so what you want to do is kind of keep that steady momentum going up, so that then you want to have it at its highest point, so that the next 3 posts really do build off of that momentum. But if you were to just consistently go like this, it would be really hard to gain any type of traction in the algorithm with new audiences. So you want to have enough growth content so that when you do talk about what you do, you sell what you do. If it is on your feed, again, like stories are a little bit different, you don't see such a severe dip, and you can still continue to see growth and momentum after that post. So that's kind of the basics of it. But back to what I'm saying. So when I'm looking to see like what is coming, what's happening, how is the market shifting going into 2026? It's a new year. People are doing things differently, and they have been. It's not like the clock strikes 12 and everybody starts acting differently. This has been slowly happening. I mean, I just remember when people were using Instagram to make more of their sales decisions. Like, I remember that shift. I used ManyChat. I used ManyChat in like, I think it was like 2014, 2015 maybe. I used ManyChat years ago on Facebook. Like, it's not a new thing. It's just new to the majority of the audience. That's why I'm saying, like, when you hear about something, generally it's already been happening. That's true with like the government, politics, like the news. It's usually already been happening 4 months in time. So like, people have been using ManyChat. Okay. It hasn't been like the average person hasn't been using ManyChat. And now I think it's like millions of people use ManyChat. So speaking of that, in 2026, I mean, AI is here to stay. AI cannot replace you as a coach. It can't replace a lot of things. It can replace your content. But also AI will be seen similarly to ManyChat, where we have to really make it a little bit more human. So ManyChat is more of like a qualifier for me. It is not there to complete the sale. It is not there to do all of the work for me, but it is a qualifier. It is to say, who is a better qualified lead than someone who is not? Maybe it is just, you have just an audience where 1 out of every 5 messages turns into a sale. That would tell you something about the way you're communicating on ManyChat. And so I use it as a qualifier, meaning like, it's going to warm up my audience, going to ask like an initial human sounding question. And when I do have AI in place, they will know because I will tell them. I think the biggest thing that you can do, even when it's assumed, is to be transparent in the way you communicate with your audience. And so like, my welcome message, when I get a new follower, I'm not just like pretending like I'm sending a message. I am saying, hey, this is an automated message from Lindsay. I'm so excited to connect with you. Can you tell me a little bit more about your business? And then I can maybe send you over some resources. So again, qualifier. People who only respond are the people I'm only going to respond to. So that tells me when someone is in a conversation with me, like, they are more likely to keep up that conversation because of their initial like raise of hand. So they followed me, but that doesn't mean anything. If they took the step to reply to my message, that says more. So I have an automated message that I then follow up with. So you want to have more human DMs when you are DMing, but you need to be talking to the qualified leads, not just everyone. I've worked with women who have like viral content and they're like, how do I get back to everyone? You don't. You set the stage to get back to the people who actually want to respond to you, because not everybody is in your DMs getting back to you. And so they feel like they have low quality DMs. They just don't have the right qualifier in place to actually judge the qualifications of their leads. Like, that's the biggest thing I can tell them. And the thing that most people don't understand, they just look at their follower as like one generalized person and type. And if one person does one thing, then they assume that about their entire audience. And that just simply isn't the case. You have like 5 different types of buyers in your audience. You need to create and show up for that person and be a person, be a human. So qualifiers are huge in DM automation. So 2026, let's talk about that again. We talked about ManyChat, DM automation, SEO. So your content now should be more evergreen. And I've been talking to actually like 2 astrology clients in the last couple weeks, and they were like, oh my gosh, Lindsay, this is so helpful because now I can create more evergreen content. And in my mind, I was like, oh, what were you creating before? Like, I just always create content as if anyone can find it at any time, because I still have content from 2020 on TikTok that's performing. 2020, 5 years ago, people are still finding content from years ago because of keywords. Instagram is scraping the internet. When people search things, they want to find your content on social media because they trust it. Before your website, they're going to find social media. So search engine optimization, keyword usage in all of your content is going to be critical. It's essentially like the words you use in your content are inviting them into your world. So when someone is searching for them, you're just simply inviting them over to your house. You're not inviting them into your home. That's like in your DMs, in your content. You're like saying, okay, come take a look around, figure out which room you want to stay in when you work with me. Because there's not just like the living room, there's the kitchen, the bedroom, the dining room, the spare bedroom, the backyard. There's so many different places that you can invite them into. And your content, the SEO, like, is just inviting them in. It's just saying like, hey, you're searching for this, you're searching for over 40 perimenopause fat loss, come into my ecosystem, come into my world, and I'll show you, I'll let you take a look around and see how you can work with me. They have to find you first. And it needs to be evergreen. It needs to be content that works today and it will work a year from now. Can you say that about your content? Additionally, when you're using AI, so AI is just the middleman. And I can spot an AI post from a mile away. Listen, I've done it. Like I've created content using AI. I now like kind of find a little bit more of my voice. Because when something's new, you just test it out, you try it out, you see kind of what you want to do with it, and you're just kind of winging it. If you're an early adopter, if you're like testing things as they're coming out, like I feel I am, I was just kind of testing it. So now I kind of get like what I want to sound like and feel like in my content. But with AI, I mean, people are going to be able to spot it a mile away. And so we need to figure out how to bridge the gap. So AI is the middleman. You're the ideation, like you're creating the ideas. It's helping you like kind of piece together your thoughts faster. It's not giving you your thoughts. It's helping you piece them together faster. So it's like an assistant sitting next to you being like, okay, I'm going to work on that idea. Thank you for the idea. Let's work on that idea. And then you need to take it back out and say, okay, how would I actually say this? What would people actually want to hear from me? And it's not chopped sentences. So you need to fix your prompts, ask it for no chopped sentences. And you need to build out your AI to be in your voice. So like feeding it past content, feeding it past coaching calls, feeding it like any of the replays that you have from your business so that your tone comes through, your mannerisms, your just like delivery style comes through, and then you're able to bridge the gap a little bit faster and more effectively. Like people will trust you because soon everyone's just going to start to sound like everybody else. Because if you're asking ChatGPT to give you tips, it's just going to give you the same tips it's giving everyone else. And that's not helping anybody. They need to come from up here, and you need to use AI to help restructure. I know I don't spell things correctly all the time. I know my brain moves so fast, I kind of like can't type as quickly. So AI helps with that. And I use it in a way that's effective, but it's also like helpful for my audience because it still sounds like me. It doesn't sound like someone that they're going to get on a call with and not know like who I am on the call versus who I am on social media. So you need to maintain your integrity and the integrity of what you teach. Additionally, I mean, storytelling is always going to be it. I've been doing storytelling since I started social media. It's like the basis of what I've been doing. Storytelling is where you need to take your content. Talking to camera, you have to be doing it. I just think that is going to be one of the best ways to cut through this like AI generated world. And live video is huge. That will be the one way you can tell if I'm an AI or not. I think for the most part, obviously there's always going to be nuance there. And, but I think as we start to see more of it in our algorithm where we're questioning everything, like, did that cat come out of that kid's mouth? I don't know. You need to be a real person. And so going live, doing live events, being on video is really going to set you apart if you're looking to build a business in 2026 using social media. It is where people are making their buying choices because they're using them as search engines. No longer going to Google. Like if you were to look from top to bottom, people using Google are like your highest intent buyers, but like still TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, people are making their buying decisions based on what they're searching on those platforms. Some are better than others. Like TikTok algorithm is great for search. Instagram is getting better, but there's still tons of content you can't find when you search things. So YouTube is incredible from a search perspective. So we have to really be mindful of what's actually going to make our content work. And like the algorithm is the least of your concerns. Like there's 20 other things you can be doing versus giving your attention and like energy to an algorithm you can't really control. But if you pay attention to those other things, it starts to move the algorithm in your favor. So instead of just saying, oh, the algorithm works against me, like, that's actually not what it's built for. It's actually built to support your content. You just don't know the secrets that are going to actually like move it and manipulate it for the people who need to find your content. And it starts with the 3 things I talked about. It starts with building that trust and credibility with the content people are searching for. So that is what I foresee in 2026. Of course, there's a ton of other things. This could be like a 2-hour long video. But that's kind of like the initial things that I'm seeing as I'm talking to people this week about what it looks like to work with me in 2026. I mean, all of these things are the things that I teach to help you do it faster, more effective, get better results. Instead of scrolling and hoping to find your next business strategy on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. Like, it's just not going to be there. And you have to be willing to like commit to strategies, see them through, test them, and figure out where to go from there. And bring people into your business who are better at that than you. You are the best at what you do. Bring in a marketing expert, a sales expert, me into your business and say, like, how can we partner so that we are both working towards the end goal, better results, more visibility, heavier growth, better quality leads. How can we do that? Because while you're running your business and like loving on your clients, you need to have a marketing mechanism working on your behalf. And it starts with kind of like laying that foundation and just showing up and committing to it. So if you're curious about working with me in 2026, you can type in apply down below and we can talk about like an actual human, talk about what that looks like to work with you in your business. Because I only take a handful of clients because I really dig in and care about getting into their business, like into the weeds of it, because that's what I love to do. And I don't need to do it with thousands of people. So I am taking just 12 clients next year. Only 3 of those are one-on-ones. So I'll be sharing a little bit more about that. But this is what you need to do now if you're looking to make a bigger impact next year. Like, I'm not just talking about, I just need to show up consistently. Like, there's courses for that. Like, that's not what I do. But if you're ready to continue to like build your business, start to bring on team members to support you, build better infrastructure, and have more sales using social media platforms, that's what I do. So you can comment apply below and I'll send you over the details.